Doesn't even need to look perfect as long as it makes you feel good. And don't be afraid of failure, as failure is the best lesson. So I was really worried that the plants were going to cook, and when they got here, it was all going to be dead. But
Please look at this. It's marvelous. Salut tout le monde, c'est Kenneth de Chakobota et aujourd'hui on est à Interzo au stand Tropica pour faire une interview avec George Farmer qui a fait ce magnifique aquarium, enfin qui a aidé à la conception de ce magnifique aquarium. So hi George, finally nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
A pleasure. So you did actually help by doing this marvelous aquarium, right?
that's right, yeah. We set it up 3 months ago, and yeah, here we are showing it off at Interzoo.
Okay, well, it's really, I must say, it's really amazing. Like, guys, please look at this. It's marvelous. So I do have 5 questions for you. The first one is, how did you get into aquaristics and also into aquascaping?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in nature, and I remember years ago when I was a small child, my uncle had an aquarium,
Okay.
and it caught my attention, and I remember particularly neon tetras, were my favourites. And then fast forward to my early 20s, and actually my ex-wife suggested that we get a fish tank.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity.
Why not? Exactly.
And again, like having a strong kind of connection with nature, I thought a bladder tank would be the way to go. And then discovered Amano, and then
Exactly, indeed. The natural aspects that got into
yeah, I think
again.
it's really nice to create a underwater world that is natural looking. It helps to connect you with nature.
Exactly, yeah, it's true. By looking at this, I feel connected too right now.
We're growing plants. The plants actually help the whole system. It's a little bit like a miniature Earth, you know.
It's true.
Think about the rainforests, and
It's true, you can say that.
how they can consume the CO2, and
Exactly.
you know, so it's almost like a microcosm of
And also it's changing, just like nature.
exactly, always change.
Exactly. Also, of course, what made you want to work with the Tropica brand?
Basically, they just had such a high reputation for good quality aquarium plants.
Indeed.
Back in the early 2000s.
So,
And actually, when I started writing for Practical Fish Keeping magazine, I realised I could get free plants because I featured them in the magazine.
That's true.
I contacted Tropica, and then that's how the relationship started. So 2006, so 18 years
oh my God, yeah,
I've been working.
a very long time.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's they are beautiful plants. They're always innovating, creating new products. We've got
Indeed.
species. There's quite a few different new species in here. For instance,
Yeah, how many species are in there?
it's a
Do
good.
you know?
There are 17.
17.
There's about 5 new species.
Okay, then go to my next question because it's like about this. Do you have like a specific plant you love really in particular that you put in here or not?
I do. I love the new Bucephalandra.
Yeah, these are my favorites too, yeah, because they do have a blue color,
Yeah, the iridescent.
blue tints, exactly.
Then we have the beautiful Cryptogory Spiralis Red
Yeah,
as well. This is new. I really like the Aerocaldon as well. This is quite new. The Vietnam, very easy for an Aerocaldon. Doesn't need much light. And then this is also very cool. The Bacopa Santamani Purple.
it's true, yeah, but my favorite is this one too, the Bucephalandra. It's really gorgeous. Is there like your favorite plant, may I say, or like favorite material you can work with? Do you have like a specific thing you prefer?
Another Nubius.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah, easy, exactly.
even like you can have it in a cichlid aquarium, and it's so long term.
It's true.
You've been growing for years without much adjustment. And I just think it really encourages patience, which I think is really good in aquascaping. A really good skill to learn patience. Also love crypts as well. They're very very easy to maintain, very easy, low light.
It's true, yeah, exactly. Quite it's like the easy ones, let's say.
I think
And
it's really important to show beginners especially that you can succeed.
it's true with
Creating a beautiful aquarium with easy plants.
it's true, yeah, you don't need
Easy,
it,
really tricky plants to have a beautiful tank.
but it's not.
It's almost the opposite.
It's true. And as for a specific material, like, I don't know, wood, rocks, do you have anything you prefer?
I love big bold driftwood.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I kind of would say some of the holes and changes, but yeah, I still like an Iwagumi, you know.
Yeah, right.
But I like a bit more of a chaotic Iwagumi.
Okay, yeah.
Like the minimalist.
Yeah.
But not more in keeping with like what the fish would like.
Okay.
I like to have a bit more height at the plant.
Okay, yeah, definitely getting that. As speaking of about like beginners plans and so on, and just easy plans, what would be your advice, like you would give to beginners about creating their first scape?
Really good question. The internet is brilliant for advice, but look for one or two solid sources of information and just follow those rather than cherry picking different.
Okay, yeah, pretty good advice indeed.
Incompatible techniques. So if you just stick to one or two people that have a proven track record, you can't really go wrong.
Okay, yeah, exactly, indeed, yeah.
If you can afford it, invest in good quality equipment, especially plant, and try to plant as densely as you can from the beginning, and don't be afraid of failure.
Okay, yeah.
Because failure is the best lesson.
It's true.
Try not to use failure to demotivate you. Try to use failure to motivate you, because that's the best way to learn. The bigger the mistakes you make, the more lessons.
It's true indeed, and that applies for everything in life, unfortunately. Well, fortunately too. This is going to be my last question. Is there a particular style of scape that you prefer? Like the minimalist, you told me it was a no-go for you.
I prefer a scape now that is in keeping with the fish.
Okay.
I used to just focus on the aesthetic of the aquascape. How eye-catching is it? How compositionally perfect is it? But now it's like, how well does it suit the inhabitants, I think, So I would say particular kind of quiet type style, but definitely try to keep it on the natural vibes. So for instance, if I'm using a lot of Southeast Asian species of plants, I'd probably go for Southeast Asian. And just trying to make the fish as comfortable as you can. And and just and look after the plants as well as you can, and it's a beautiful thing. And it doesn't even need to look perfect as long as it makes you feel good and as long as everything's healthy.
And also it evolves during time, so you can have like different plants growing up and so on. So yeah. Well, that's it. Do you have anything specific to tell us about this aquarium? Like any anecdotes, funny things to say?
Well, it has been a challenge actually.
How long did it take you to do this?
So the actual scaping itself took 2 full days. So 2 or 3 of us. Changed the carpet twice.
Okay, yeah.
In the last 3 months because we had a few melting issues. We originally had a Nubius Pinto.
Okay.
Here, but it struggled with the lighting, so we changed that to hydroponic feeder. And this just actually evolved quite a lot over the 3 months, of a few changes here and there. And I was actually really worried because we put these on lorries.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
1,000 kilometres away. We cling film it, we put it on a lorry, and then we drive it here. But the actual days that it was...
Yeah, you had no idea how the plants would...
really hot, and the roof of the lorry was actually like clear plastic.
Oh my God, yeah, okay, yeah.
Like a greenhouse. So I was really worried that the plants were going to cook, and when they got here, it was all going to be dead, but...
Yeah, there they are. Well, then, once again, marvelous, splendid aquarium. I'm amazed by it. So really thank you for helping in creating this masterpiece. And well, les gars, that's it for today.
Okay, cheerio.
Bye.